Hello, hello, wonderful, good day, good morning. This is the first webinar in English since a very long time. And since many years, I hear, please do a webinar in English about astral projections. And yeah, finally, here it is. Actually, it's a little difficult for me to organize a webinar in English because mostly the people are coming from Germany or German speaking who are connected with me. But some years ago I traveled to Australia and I did seminars and tours outside from Germany, and so there is interest, but the problem is to reach all the people, and there's different time zones. So we have this time right now, which is 11 o'clock in the morning, and it's in Australia, a perfect time. I think it's easy for them to join in because it's early in the morning, in the evening. But in the US it's a different time zone, so that's why I'm doing another webinar also in a few weeks with a different time set again. And I see also there are some German people here, which is nice because you're only 4 people. Wow, this is very less for a webinar. See, this is why, because I never do it in English yet. But okay, anyhow, I'm here for you guys and thank you for joining. And hallo Allah, herzlich willkommen, and Nadine. And so we will see how it goes because I got so many people asking over the years and years, please do this webinars, and if there's really interest, if the interest is rising, then I will do also more in English. Okay, so I would love to know where the other 2 people are coming from. So we have, I think, 2 or even 3 from Germany, and I don't know if there are more from outside also. If you are not living in Germany, I'm very happy if you post where you're coming from. Okay, and there's one more person coming. Hello, welcome. Yes, my English is okay. I mean, it was better when I lived in India because in India I had to speak a lot of English because there were many people in the ashram where I lived for 8.5 years who only could speak English. So, and if I really wanted to understand what's going on, I had to learn English. So, but school English was not the way for me for learning it. It was really yeah, I had to do, to travel and to have the exercise in the world, and then the language is coming. But actually, I feel I didn't spoke since some months now, really in English, and it might be a little bit not so perfect, but I hope you will understand me well. Okay. Hi, Vic. Yes, I think I contacted you over a thing some years ago. I remember you are from Sydney. I think we are on contact. Hello, namaste. And you are from Köln, okay. Russia, you're coming from Russia. Very nice. There are lots of very powerful healers in Russia. This is a very spiritual place, and I know that the media wants us to think some things about Russia. That's a different thing, but I have a different view on this also. Okay, very interesting. Good. So I'm coming to this webinar, Astral Projections, and why I'm doing this, why I love this topic so much, is because I had some spontaneous experiences by leaving my body, out-of-body experiences, and after this spontaneous experiences, I wanted to learn about it, I wanted to get it back, It's like you're having a very beautiful, powerful experience and you love to have it back. And so I searched a long time about this topic, and I made a lot of practice. And now I'm, I think, over 14 years, 15 years researching on this. Some Indian techniques, some techniques with other very known spiritual teachers, you might say. And I found that there are many different ways to get this experience, and so to program yourself to get to be able to get these experiences. And this doesn't have to be always a spontaneous experience. And I always say it's very important to have real spiritual experiences in order to believe, because, for example, in our Christian church here in Germany, when we go there, we hear many times, you have to believe what is in the Bible, you have to believe what other people say to you, or also many spiritual teachings are like this even, you have to believe because somebody got the message. And over the years I found for myself, no, the best is to have real experience yourself and to really prove things for yourself. That is the real experience, because then you don't, you are not a believer, you are somebody who experiences it, that's the difference, to believe and to know. So that's why I researched so long, and over the years I found out some techniques so really work almost for everybody if you practice them long enough. And a few of those techniques I already give you right now here in this webinar to get an overview, to get a to get also an inspiration, for your own spiritual development. And astral projections are not only for fun, they have many times a very high purpose. So if something happens very strongly in my life, many times I get the things before. It comes with, that's why I wrote here, astral projection and spiritual experiences. My experience is that astral projection as the way of how you leave the body. And there are some people who are saying, yeah, okay, it's just fun to walk through the wall, and it's just fun to be out of the body and to see yourself from outside, But it's so much more, I want to give you an example. I'm leading darkness retreats. That means that people are fully, complete, 100% darkness until, they're there until 49 days, so this is a very long time. Some people only stay for 5 days, some people stay for 14 days, but most people stay with us for 14 days to 3 weeks. And over this time, lots of experiences can come. And I have right now, just yesterday she left, actually this morning, very early morning she left. We had right now a guest here in our darkness retreat. Because I'm leading sometimes one-to-one retreats, single retreats, and sometimes group retreats. And the single retreats, they are very interesting because the people are also not speaking. They are in something it's called in India Muni. Muni means I'm in complete silence. I'm absorbed in the silence, in the spiritual silence, also with my mind. I'm not thinking all the time or writing things, on the computer all the time, but I'm really calming down a lot. So, and in the one-to-one darkness retreats, they have the two triggers. They have the full darkness, which can trigger astral projections very quickly. And they also have the silence, because I only come once a day to talk to them. And what is very interesting, what happened, she is a person who is working, how you say, in an office. And so she has some interest in spirituality, but not really into it yet, but already she did a retreat, so it's really interesting. And she got lots of visions, and this comes many times with astral projections, because when you leave your body, you be able, like, as you go to a mountain and you look up from above, you can see much more than if you're also on the ground, So, and in that case, she saw a picture of a woman, and she described that to me, and I felt like, wow, that could be very interesting, because here in Germany there are, over the last weeks and months, some people missing, and also a family is missing. And she described that woman, because there are some pictures out in the news and I felt like, wow, that could be her. And I showed that picture to her this morning because she's the first time, yesterday evening, because she's now the first time in the light. And she said like, wow, this is really amazing, Bharati. This is really what I saw her, you know. And she's completely freaked out because she, yeah, you know, she didn't believe herself in this. She said this happened because it was a proof for herself, that proves that it's really possible, you know. And she said she has a big fear to go outside with that. People might not believing, and if somebody hears that story, they might have big question marks on this. But this is what happened, you know. And so this experiences come many times when you're in silence and when you are able to go above the reality of thinking, you know. And the amazing thing is that she got a message about that woman. She got a message that she's also in the water, you know. I mean, the people from Germany, when I speak, maybe you know which family I mean. There's one man, he was found dead in a water, you know, and she gives a message that she is also in the water floating. So this is amazing. And the most amazing thing is that she was so shocked about it, you know, that she's like, oh my gosh, this is a proof, this really works. I really saw her. And she saw even the green. She saw green behind the woman, and the picture which I showed her has some green around the hair, like the background is some green. So that is really interesting. And so astral projections and having an open third eye comes many times hand in hand. There are some people who teaching astral projection just for fun. There's even an ebook available on the net, which is saying astral sex, you know, like you're leaving your body and you can have sexual relations without any let's say any karmic consequences, what they say. But you know, this is not what it is about, you know. And I'm sure there will be also karmic consequences, not that much on as on a body level, but hey, souls connect, you know, souls connect. And of course the body level is very strongly, but the soul is never dying, you know. I researched a lot on near-death experiences, and from that I know that as really, I can tell you 100%, I'm not believing in this anymore. I know this. This is also one thing, you know. And you should also not believe everything, you know, also know what I'm saying. You should start to really research and researching for yourself. And everybody, I can tell you, every soul, everybody can learn how to leave the body. This is really, it's possible, you know. And everybody has different ways to doing this, but it's really, really possible. And when you see yourself outside and you see yourself in your body, like one experience I had, I want to describe to you. I was also in the darkness retreat, my own. That's why I'm leading darkness retreats now, because I did different teachings before, but I really came to the base, you know, because it's a very, very basic work, to fundamental work, you know, work with the darkness, because you so reflected on yourself back. And when you have when you can hold that, you know, if you're okay with yourself, you know, you can have great experience, and goes very, very fast because you have no distractions at all. Because I did also a lot of meditations and big groups and a lot of chantings and everything. It's beautiful, it's powerful, but always the mind goes outside, you know, and you see other people and you see, oh, what are they thinking, or what are they wearing, or what I'm eating later, or, you know, blah, blah, blah. So to come back to yourself, this is a very powerful thing, to hold that vibration in yourself, you know, and to really get the experience fast. And I had an experience in the darkness retreat myself, where I was laying, and all of a sudden I saw myself outside, and even the room is complete darkness. Once you're in the astral world, you can see. So you can see even at night. You see, it's like a mist, you know, not very, very, very super clear as daytime, but you see. It's a different if you see at night or in the dark or in the light. It's really different for me, but you can see. And so I saw myself outside, you know, I saw myself laying there, and it's such, you know, there's a difference between dream state and a dream and a real experience. When you have a real experiences and you see yourself, you feel it, and you feel so alive, you know you're awake. You know you're awake. It's so clear. You're feeling your body. If you go outside, you feel your astral body. If it starts to rain, you feel it on your astral body. You know, it's so beautiful experience. And when I had many times the experience when I see myself, but in the darkness, this one time was very amazing because I saw myself, and I was standing there and looking to myself and thinking about myself and thinking, wow, what am I doing in this body, this lifetime, you know, like really reflecting and, you know, and thinking, wow, this is amazing. And okay, so now I'm going in another world, and thank you, God, for keeping me such awake that I can have this experience now. There is a big, big greatness, gracefulness in me now, since I have experiences like this. Because, see, if you have this experience, and I'm sure you know, some of you might have similar experiences or other experiences, when they come to us, it opens our heart so much, you know. And this is a very important way of getting more spiritual experiences, is to have an open heart, to have an open third eye, to be open to the possibility that this can really happen, and to be connected with God. I had experiences in the underworlds, even in the normal middle world, whereas everything like here it is, you know, and in the higher world. And when I go in the higher worlds, it's like a very, very, very golden moment. The higher worlds are, yeah, very rare, this experience, but very, very beautiful, super beautiful. And there's so much love and so much light, and it's like, I don't know in English how to say. In Germany, I would say it's a Zumutung, wieder zurückzukommen. It's like when I'm in the higher worlds and I have to come back to the body, it feels like, oh no, I don't want, because it's so much love and so much light. And this experience everybody will do once they, latest when they die, you know. You don't have to have fear of that moment, you know, if you're not a bad person, if you don't have if your consciousness has no conflict, you know, which can create some difficulties in the afterworld for a while. If you are okay with yourself, let's say like this, then it's an amazing, beautiful experience, which is amazing. And there are tools to get this experience even while we're alive, without having a near-death or death experience, you know. So these tools I'm teaching, and I will give you also 2-3 techniques today where you can build up that energy, because sometimes this high love and high greatness and feeling graceful, I mean, how to say, I think you mean what I know, what I want to say, you know. It's this big thankfulness, you know, and this amazing light that comes to us, and this power also, you know. There's sometimes power which comes with that, like energy is incredible, you know. When that comes, I even sometimes forget to eat. I forget to sleep, you know. So it's different now because I have a little baby. I mean little, she's now 17 months, and I'm nursing also still. I'm breastfeeding and believe very much in very strong connection. And I believe in family very, very much. And it's grounding me a lot, but still, sometimes the energy is very, very high. And yeah, and that is such a beautiful experience, okay? And I would love to, yeah, inspire you to build up that energy more and more for yourself. Yeah. Okay. Now I see a question. I will translate that in English. Okay. Sure, you can ask questions here. That is no problem. And what is happening if we don't come back to the body in time? Or if you don't want to come back into your body at all. Yeah, I mean, I had experiences, you know, where I don't want to come back. There was a time where I had connection to one higher world. It's such a beautiful place. And I don't have that all the time, you know, it's really golden moments, it's very, very special timings. And that energy was so strong and so divine and so beautiful. And I was up there, you know, in this big love, and with beings, being together with beings, they cannot lie, you know. They cannot lie, because when they have feelings, they show it in their heart, and they don't wear clothes, and they show, you know, in the red they're excited, or blue they feel a little hurt, or green they feel love. So there are different ways of their expressing their feelings, and they don't hide them. They don't wear masks like we humans do. And I felt so well and happy, and I felt the first time in my life I can be like I really want to be. And I was so sad. I didn't want to go. But they said, no, that's not your world. We showed you that you know there are other worlds, and maybe in another incarnation, you know, where you can be in our loka, you can be in our world. But, you know, we are your friends, but you have to go back, and we will be with you. And even if I didn't want it to, it's like a pull. Many times, I even in life, you know, one time I felt I want to go back there, and I holded my breath, and I tried to die, you know. I really did crazy stuff, and it didn't happen, you know. If God doesn't want to let you go, if you have a job here, you have a job here, you know. So it's and I know from one woman, I want to tell you, there's one woman I found in my research, and this is really, really, wow, this really touched me so deep. She yeah, she had a 1 year death experience, and she also experienced this amazing light, you know, this amazing, beautiful feeling, you know, which is like as if you're in love, but more, you know. And she was like, wow, I want to stay here. And God kicked her back. She had the message, no, you are not allowed here. She had an accident, that's why she had this experience, and so she had to go back. And then she fell into depression, because she didn't know why she had to come back, and why she has to live here. And so over some years she tried to kill herself, but really seriously, you know. I only tried to hold my breath, but she really tried very seriously with different ways. And anyhow, she had a near-death experience again. And again, this light came, again, this love came, everything. But they really was tough with her. They said to her, no, you have a job to do. It's not your time. You have to go back. You know, you have to really go back, you know. And again, she came back, and she was so upset. And she really tried to find her purpose on earth, and she couldn't find it, you know. Again, for 2-3 years. And again, she searched and looked, and she had such a feeling for love. She wanted to go back. And again, she tried to kill herself. She tried to kill herself 3 times altogether later. And by the end, she gave up. She was like, okay, I cannot die, you know. God doesn't let me die. He wants me to come. He wants me to stay on earth, you know. And if he wants me to come to his place, then he has to call me. Okay, what is my work? And she was so frustrated. She said, when she went to sleep, she called to the angels, like, hey, divine angel, say, why you let me in this pain? Please, 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 you have to tell me what is my next step, what I have to do. And then finally, she got really a message, finally, in her dreams, that she has to work with what she knows. And then she's like, oh, yeah, sure. So she works now helping people who have to die, who has a big sickness like cancer or something, and she works in a hospice, you know, and she's helping people to cross over. And this is her work. And since then, she has no depression at all. And all the love is flowing in her, and she knows she is a messenger of the light of another side. So sometimes we cannot explain even why we have a depression of time, or why we want to really go there. But what I really know is that if we have a job here, God doesn't accept that. He pulls us back, and we have to find that purpose. And if we don't find that purpose in this life, He will send us back in another life. We have work to do, you know. We are all connected to each other, and it's not a selfish trip here. So this is, I know for sure, you know, after all these experiences and researches, you know. Okay, I come for one more question. Nadine, how can you distinguish, I think, sorry, this word I don't know perfectly, but I know what it means, between a lucid dream and an astral projection when it happens during sleep? Yes, that is a very, very, very good question. So how can you say it's really an astral projection, or how can you say it's a dream, right? So in a dream, always something is funny. Okay, in a dream there's always something funny, like for example if you make some reality checks with your hands, yeah, for example during the daytime you might check your hands, like you're counting them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You do this 30 to 50 times a day, you know. It sounds stupid, you know, why you should do this, but if you do that reality checks during the day, you will also do that after a while during the night. Okay, and everything you do during the day you will do after some time also in the night. Okay, so if you count your fingers, for example this reality check, if you count your finger during the night, and for example you have a dream and you want to know if I'm lucid, if I really have a lucid dreaming, like I'm awake in my dream, I know what's happened, or if I'm an astral, if you count that, you might have 6 fingers in a lucid dream, or 8, or your finger might disappear, or you know, you cannot count that completely, you know. There's always something weird in a dream. So for example, I sometimes give consultations in Vastu, which is the Indian Feng Shui, and in one lucid dream where I was not sure if it's really a dream or if I'm astral projection, I looked around and it was really, really weird because the you know, the room stand like that, you know, the room was like that, so I was walking like ah. So this is typical dream, you know. And in the astral projection, it's very different. If you, for example, if I count my fingers in the dream, it's really my 5 fingers, and I can see through a little bit. It might disappear, but I come back. But it's very, very super clear. You know, a real astral projection is clear. And also in a dream, there's always something funny. Like for example, the rooms are like this, or I don't know, something weird, you know. But in an astral projection, it's a very, very clear world. Even if it's a different world, it's very, very clear, and your feelings are amazing, amazing clear. For me, in an astral projection is even more clear many times than this reality here. So many times I have a very much high body feeling, you know, like if somebody touching me. One time somebody gave me a kiss in the astral world here. I wake up and I felt it still here. I really felt it in my body. This is a real astral projection, and I'm sure everybody experiences from time to time. I'm sure if you really think through, you might have some dreams, let's say, where you felt, wow, they are so real, they are so amazing real, right? And that is mostly the absolutely fully clear astral projections. The problem is we have a mind cover, like say we have something which is covering our mind. As soon as we wake up, we forget. So the most important job, this is the technique number 1 I give you. Very, very important. Try to remind yourself on all dreams. Okay. So in the morning when you wake up, you should be it should be very, very important that you sit down and lay down. Better if you wake up immediately, you lay very very stiff, you know. You should not move too much, and really think, okay, what did I dream, you know. And then there is it's very interesting, there's a research they did in sleep, how you say, labors, like when you how you say, if you want to understand what people experience and doing in sleep, you know, researchers, so they found out, if you, for example, if you sleeping on your back and you wake up and you lay on your back for long enough, like a few minutes, you start to remember everything you dreamt when you're doing you slept on the back, you know, and that time. Then you roll over the left, for example, and you have to keep that energy. You have to lay there for some time, and then again, all the information which you had experienced while doing on the left, it will come. Okay, then you turn on the right, and all that over the time will come, and also on your belly, you know. So this 4 sides you should for sure you know, activate in yourself, and then it will be a very, very beautiful experience, you know. And then you will start to learn about your dreams, and you should write them down, you know. You should really write them down, make a diary and write that down. And so there's 2 more things. In a dream you can never read, okay, and you can never count, and there are a few more things, but they are the most important things, you know. You cannot read and you cannot count. And many times I get very clear, like a book, I see a book, let's say like this book, this I want to show you, it's very, very interesting. I come on this soon. So, and then for example the 30, if you see the 30, or even cases of reincarnation, if you can see this, you know, you can really read that, then you're also not in a dream. Then you're in an astral projection state, okay? So that is very, very important to understand, because many times people say, even when they are with me in the darkness retreat, they say, oh yeah, I had a funny dream, you know, and yeah, and I had a dream and I read this and this and this, and I said, okay, that's not a dream, that's an astral projection, you know. In a lucid dream you cannot read, no. There's a reality check technique which most of the lucid dream teachers give. This is one of the reality checks. You know, reality checks means you're checking if you're really dreaming or if you're awake, so that you can become lucid in your dreams, that you come awake, you know. That's a trigger. So in one of the very, very famous reality checks from the lucid dream techniques is, for example, that you take in your shower, like your shampoo or something, and you read what is standing there, you know, like shampoo, la 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 la, you know? And you do that like every time you go shower, you read that, because when you do that in your dream, when you are lucid, you are not able to read perfectly, and because you're not able to read perfectly, you can understand, I'm dreaming. Okay, that's one of the very famous lucid dreaming techniques. So all experts on lucid dreaming say, no, it's not possible to read in dream. And it might be in very, very rare cases, but I never came across one. So for myself, and I'm researching a lot on this, and I do a lot of seminars since a very long time, I can say it's not possible to read in dreams. So not if you really read clearly. Okay, and sometimes I had experience where I read fully pages, and I had one time a guest in my darkness retreat, very interesting, he came also from Russia, and it's a very special place in Russia, I forgot, and I didn't know that was very interesting. He told me later, I tell you the experience soon, he told me later that in Russia many books got burned. It's like similar to Germany, where there was a time where they burned a lot of books and a lot of knowledge got lost. So especially in the beginning time of Russia, and especially when they lived with the animals like together, you know, or like the knowledge of the animals in the forest and so on, got lots of things lost. And he read like 5 or 6 pages. I mean, you have to believe, it's amazing. 5 or 6 pages, you know, how you can work with a bear if he's coming to you and if he wants to attack you, or how you can work with other animals and so on. So that is very, very amazing, and he read all the things, and later on he got the message, hey, this book is actually destroyed, but we're showing this to you, you know. There's a lot of knowledge, please research that are your roots. And he was like, wow, very, very interesting. Okay. Nadine says, can you use a lucid dream to leave your body and astral project? Yes, for sure. This is why in my seminars I always teach lucid dreaming. So I did one time a seminar, talk before a seminar, and then some people said, hey, why are you saying, why are you talking about lucid dreaming? Because we want to only learn about astral projections. Why you bring in the lucid dreaming? And we have to understand there are two ways, there are two doors to do lucid dreaming, to do astral projection. You know, one is happening during the night, okay? And that is very difficult to remember if you're not aware, okay? And lucid dreaming, to learn that, is helping a lot to remember, you know, what is exactly, what are you experiencing there? What is happening with you during the night, you know, because every person has astral projections during the night, but you might not remember if you're not enough trained, right? So, and the other thing is, you have also a possibility to have astral projections during the day. There are special techniques for that as well, when your body is awake and you're not sleeping, and that is possible for sure, but it's difficult. To be very honest, it's difficult. So you have to have daily practice, or at least 2-3 times in a week, and you have to really practice this, and you have to build up that energy in your body, especially Kundalini energy and divine vibrations, to be able to have a aware out-of-body experience while you are awake. So because I don't want to have the people frustration, you know, I want them to be happy. So that's why I'm trying to give two ways. You know, one is doing the dream and one is doing the daytime. So that is the reason why I'm teaching also lucid dreaming techniques, and I think it's a very, very important basic. And it's also great because lucid dreaming is also very fun, you know, and there are different things to lucid dreaming. You can use dreaming to heal yourself on a lot of things, you know, a lot of dreams where you can interfere and make them, turn them in a positive way. You can work with that very, very powerfully. Okay. Vic says, does opening the third eye chakra help in astral projection? Oh yes, for sure, because I had astral projections, and I also read that yesterday night in one of the astral projection groups on Facebook. Very interesting. I had no time to answer that, but I read that because my little daughter Anna had a night shift tonight, so I was a little awake. And so I surfed around and I read a very typical experience, which I also made before, that sometimes you have astral projection and you see only black. You cannot see. You really cannot see. You're outside of the body, but you don't know where you are, you know, and you cannot move. You have no enough energy to see what's going on. And also the opening third eye is very, very important, because the third eye in the chakra, it holds all your maya, your illusions, your negativity, which you carry with you out of your last lifetimes and this lifetimes. Everybody has it, it's no issue, but it's there. So if third eye opens, you're acting more on a clear intention of your soul vibration, and not so much on your blockages, on your mental blockages, you know, because if the third eye is closed, your thoughts are different, and you might also have experience in the astral projection which you create yourself through a negative mindset. So in the astral projection, it's not only divine beings, or, you know, negative beings, or beings which we see are really there, but we also can create ourselves energies. And we might think they're really real because we have this out-of-body experience, and there's somebody in front of us, and we think 100% this is another being. But it's a part of ourselves which is created by negative emotion or something, you know, and it might frighten us. So, and an open third eye helps to see through that illusion, you know, and to get strong. So, and because this is funny, even the astral projection, even if you travel outside your body, of course, one part you're free of illusion, one part you're out of the box, you know, one part you're out of the Maya, but one part you're still in it, you know. So it's another way of illusion, it's another way of Maya, and this open third eye is always, always, always in this world and in other world giving us a clear way to see. See, I have a aura camera where you can put your hand on, and it shows over biofeedback your chakras. And when I see the chakras, then you can see how open and how closed that are. And over the years I found if somebody has the open third eye, it's not only spiritual, it's also that they can see in their life, oh yeah, that's what I want to do, that's where I'm going through, this is my next step. They have a clarity. If you have a closed third eye, it's not only a spiritual, you know what I mean? It is, but it's also how clear you are in life. If it's closed, you're very confused and you don't know what is your next step. You might have headaches, you might have a very strong mind, and you have a hard time with yourself, you know. So, and it's the same in the astral projection. If you're not clear, so you might wander around, okay, la la la, but so, and then, you know, so to reach higher worlds and to have very clear, to get clear messages also, it's very, very helpful. Yeah. Okay. And it depends each other. So if you do spiritual work, it will open more. And yeah, so if you have experience, that will also help you in your daily life, for sure. Yeah. Okay, now I want to give you a little bit some techniques, you know, what you can do to get experiences. Of course, there's lots to say and a lot of techniques and so on, but, you know, we can start somewhere. And sometimes are the easy techniques the most effectful, yeah? So there are some words in India, we say sankalpam. Okay, sankalpa means I'm putting my intention in a very strong way. Like, for example, I want to send somebody a healing. I'm thinking, okay, I'm setting my sankalpam, I'm helping that person very powerfully. Yeah. So, and that is very important that we put our sankalpam before sleeping, that we say, hey, my dear soul, I want a divine experiences. I wish for a divine experience, for astral projection, out of body experience, and I wish that I'm connected, you know, and that I remember that, you know. So, and do that before you sleep, because the thought we have before we go to sleep have a very, very strong vibration into our mind and into our bodies. You know, so that's a very powerful way. Yeah. So, and then interrupt your sleep. Petra, I come soon to your question. Okay, I just finished this and then I come to a question. That's a good question. Interrupt your sleep, and I can absolutely recommend babies for that. Little kids, it's wonderful because they interrupt. And yeah, if we let ourselves interrupt, and I love this because it's very important to be there for our kids when they need us, during night and during daytime, and it has a very, very good effect, interruption of sleep, to have very, very powerful experiences in dreams, in lucid dreams, for example. They're coming more stronger, and through the lucid dream, for example, many times I'm visualizing a door, you know, where I go through that door, and then I turn into the astral world, you know. So this is very powerful to interrupt your sleep, because the dreams will be more active. And maybe you experienced that. I want to ask you, did you experience like this, if you slept sometimes in the afternoon 1 hour or something, that your dream is different, that your sleep state is different? Yeah, so try it out, you know. And it doesn't have to be always at night. It can be also that you take an afternoon nap. That is very important, not to sleep always in one raw. Okay, that was really helping. There are certain techniques. So if there's really interested in the English-speaking world here, in a real course, then I see how the next webinar goes and how the feedback goes. Then I can think also to do my webinar courses also in English. That will be 12 parts, and there I give a lot of techniques, you know, and I will be with you for some months, and every day you get some homework, or every time you get some homework, and you have to do that homework, and you can train yourself to get that experiences with my garden, how you say, not gardening, that is something different, but with my guide, you know. So, and there's interruption of sleep, a very, very big thing, you know. So it should be not like this that we are very tired during the day. It should be not every day, but sometimes we should really do this. And also sleep next to your power objects. If you have power objects like rudrakshas, or you have powerful objects like very powerful stones or a parrot or something which holds a lot of vibration, a lot of divine energy, then you should keep that with your mala where you're chanting mantras, or whatever you have on divine objects. You should keep that next to your bed to raise your Kundalini Shakti, because that is very, very important. And this also, Petra, is one of the best ways to activate Kundalini, to activate also the third eye. Because, see, the third eye only can work so strongly if there's a lot of energy there, right? So in the body, and it builds up. So I'm using a lot of power objects for myself. So I'm very much into power objects. Also, there are some very strong stones, like amethyst, for example, is a very, very clearing and very helping. This is not an expensive stone, You can really beautifully use it. You can also put it on your third eye while you laying down, and then you put it there for 20 minutes or something. So, and there's one more technique where you chant mantras and you look into the fire, You look into the fire and you're chanting certain mantras. So one mantra I also give now, so which we can do. I will give you in a few minutes. Okay, build up Shakti, divine power. This is very important. This is me many years ago. I think that was in I don't know the name right now. I know where it is, but it's a very powerful Shiva Lingam. It's in India. It's a very, very powerful Shiva Lingam, and I went up there to get to put my third eye on that Shiva Lingam to get the blessing out of it. So this is a very strong divine energy. That was in Lipakshi, right? Lipakshi. So very, very strong divine energy. So that's why I personally love India. There are people who love different places. I mean, India is not a very nice place in many different ways, but I think sometimes that's a harsh energy, and sometimes that it's not clean, but many things are happening now. It's very changing India. Even the media is not saying it, but it's very, very changing. But I think sometimes it's protection that not too many people go there, because it has a huge power, and the power is still active. It's not like Egypt or something where it's hidden. No priest in Egypt does the rituals the energy to get that energy in the temples, or in old Greek temples, or where we go, but this is still a living way, there's still a living vibration. It's very, very powerful. And so when I go to power places like this, I put my third eye there, and I let the energy flow in my system. And this is very powerful, And if you do meditation, no matter what kind of meditation, this is my way. I'm working with mantras and projects and meditation in my way, but there are many different ways. There are many, many different ways. Even if you just meditate on the white light, if you just meditate on love, the energy will come. I say always, God doesn't have a language. God has different ways. So whatever your heart is open to, but you have to do it. That is most important. And for me, also silence. Really, this is really so, so powerful. What I said in the beginning, Moni, the silence of the soul, the silence, the energy of the soul, to get that in our system. And when we always talk every day, we talk, if we talk about beautiful things, this inspires us, and inspiring energy can also open the third eye. And if the energy is like pulling us down, it can also close the third eye. And also very important, the third eye is connected to the two eyes. Many people forget that. The two eyes are very strong connected. They are also called Trinetra. Netra means eye, and three eyes, Trinetra. And so, for example, if I see horror movies, you know, oh my gosh, but if I would see that the whole day, you know, that replays in my third eye. So automatically, if you do something during the day, it's replaying. So be careful what you're watching, be careful with whom you are, with whom you're speaking, what is inspiring you, you know. That's why I have my temple room here, you know. I'm sitting with you now in my temple room. So this is my room. I have my altar and I put a candle there. I make my incense. I make every day my rituals. I see it through my third eye. So once I take a nap or I do meditation, it replays in my third eye. So you have to create beauty around yourself, you know. You have to create things you like to see. You see also in your soul, you know what I mean? And you, with that, you create a lot of positive vibration, you know. And the third eye is also very, very sensitive of Shaktipat, of if you transfer energy. Sometimes when I do seminars here, when I'm with people, or when I'm in India, when I do pilgrimage in India with my groups, then I give Shaktipat. That means I put my thumb on the third eye and I'm chanting mantras, and with that I'm transferring vibrations, energy through that Shaktipat, through that other person. That is not my energy. I'm just channeling that mantra through the element of the earth, through the third eye, you know. So yeah, there are many ways, and I think Muni and silence, mantras, power objects is a very, very powerful way. And looking into flames, yeah, looking into flames. So, see, this was the Mahakumbha Mela on a pilgrimage to India. Very, very interesting sadhu, and he's wearing so much Rudrakshas. See, I have so less, you know. He said so many, and I talked to many sadhus like this, and one sadhu told me, yeah, sure, I'm leaving every day my body on purpose. So this is very high. We call it yoga, you know. In India, it's called yoga. Different, no, than what we mean here in the West or on other places in the world. Yoga means something different, but for them yoga means they're going in yoga samadhi, they're going in yoga nidra stages, they're going in stages where they really powerfully can pull that vibration through the power objects, or he is covered in completely ash. That means Shiva energy, that means the ash is completely covering the body, and through that lots of divine vibrations are coming to him, and the illusion and the Maya, the outer world, is disappearing. If you wear all the day ash, I mean, I don't know if it's possible for you guys if you're working and so on, but sometimes in doing this, it's really, when I'm here only in the house, sometimes I'm 10 days only in the house, because when I'm leading darkness retreats, sometimes I have until 5 people here with me. Then I'm completely in the house, because I'm 24 hours also responsible for them. If something happens and they call for me, they have a ring, they can call me, I have to be there. And there are days when the full moon energy is high, where I put a lot of Rudrakshas and I put ash, you know, and then that energy comes, and wow, this is very intense. And I had one guest in my retreat, and she wanted to be covered in fully ash. And I did that for her, and when we did that, a lot of divine energies came, and so much power came into that house. That was amazing, you know. So wow, we were staying there in trance, and we saw divine beings flying by next to us. So we saw them both in the darkness. So it's really wow, amazing. So actually, I'm working on a web page in English also about darkness retreats, and if this is ready, there will be also some videos I want to upload there also to show about that experience like this. But ash is very, very powerful. So no normal ash, you know, that should be holy ash from India. If you're interested to get some holy ash, you can write to me. My email address I'm writing here. I'm having an online shop. It's in German, but it's no problem. Even if you speak English, we can organize that to send to you, or I can even let some people from India, which I know from a temple. I have contact to all the temples. If it's in Australia, for example, I can let it sent directly to you, please. So yeah, so that is a way how it's possible to gain a lot of vibration. And you see the rudrakshas on his head. Wow, this is very heavy, and this is opening the crown chakra. He has no other chance than being with completely open in that energy. Sure, it's a very different. If you wear like this rudrakshas, and if you wear ash for a few days, you feel like if you drank 1 or 2 bottles of wine. Partly you're outside, and partly you're on the body, but partly you're there. And if you then do the practices in the meditation, then the astral projection happens naturally. And that is the difference. There are all these teachers like Robert Bruce and so many great good teachers. But we should not forget that India philosophy says if your soul is ready, it happens. Astral projection happens if you want or not. By itself, without any technique. So that's why I'm a very big fan of combining techniques, but also not pushing it too much, and do a lot of spiritual work, because if your soul is ready, it comes by nature to you. So, and I had a lot of people who calling me, and also people sometimes who come to seminars say, oh my gosh, I have a very high divine experience, and the problem is I don't believe in that. The problem is I had out-of-body experience, and I don't believe in this. What can I do? Do I go crazy? Do I have a demon in myself? So people have fear when the mind is not ready, but the soul is ready, and sometimes it is. Sometimes the soul is ready and gets experience. So it's good to have both sides ready. The mind to understand what happens if I leave my body. But also the soul level, to raise the soul level. It's very interesting. Yeah, that's me on the Mahakumbha Mela with Raghavendra Das. He gave me at that time a very powerful initiation. And after that initiation in a mantra, my body was for months on fire. And when I do this mantra which he gave me, automatically I feel like I'm the strongest, and my body gets big. Like I feel like a big lady, like 100 kilos, 200 kilos, like that. And are rising up of my body like a balloon, like floating out. So there are very powerful divine ways how you can work with certain mantras on getting your energy, vibration, very powerful. And some of you who know me from Germany and who speak German, they know that mantra already, which I want to give now, and this I give now. I can say it's one of the highest divine mantras I know, and it's very, very strong to build up energies. There are different mantras later in later stages, but for the beginning and to really get that energy into our body, it's a very powerful mantra. And even my divine teacher here, Raghavendra Das, even he has his way, and he is Hanuman Sadhu, and he has his mantras, and he has his lineage and his Paramaguru and so on very strictly. But he even chanted this mantra. He said it's one of the most powerful mantras to get that energy directly into your body and to let that energy from yourself happen. So that you, for example, you go to sleep and you don't think anything, but you have a divine experience. Many things happen after that, chanting that mantra. That mantra is a mantra which brings the energy directly to us, and it's called Arut Perum Jyoti, Arut Perum Jyoti, Tani Perum Karnai, Arut Perum Jyoti. The meaning is Arut means the highest, Perum means love, the divine love, and Jyoti means the amazing light, right? Tani means the highest, Perum, again, this love, Karunai means come with me, merge with me, please, my body is a temple, all the chakras are open for the divine vibrations, come and merge with me, come be with me. So this is a mantra which is very beautiful, and I recommend you to recite this and to chant this as much as you can, and I will sing this for you. And this video will be recorded also, so this webinar will be recorded. So if you have questions later on that mantra and how to spell it, and if you want to look it up, you can later just look into this webinar again, and then you can just forward to this place and you can see it also again. Okay, so I sing it for you, and you can also, if you like, close your eyes and feel what kind of vibrations come to you when you hear that mantra. Arutperum Jyoti, Arutperum Jyoti, Taniperum Karunai, Arutperum Jyoti, Arutperum Jyoti, Arutperum Jyoti, Taniperum Karunai, Arutperum Jyoti, Arutperum Jyoti, Arutperum Jyoti, Taniperum Karunai, Arutperum Jyoti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti. Wunderbar, oder? Die Energie von dem Arutperum Jyoti. Konntet ihr das fühlen? Ja, super. Oh, I'm talking German. I said, could you feel it? It's very beautiful vibration, you know. And this is a temple not far away from the place where I have a little ashram in India. And not many people come there because, you know, all temples promise some things. They promise riches, they promise health, but this temple only promised divine vibrations, you know, only the highest. But not everybody's ready for that, you know. So very, very special mantra, very powerful. If you chant that mantra, if you really want to get that mantra powerfully in your system, you should live with vegetarian, okay? So that's up to you if you want to do it or not. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, and this light is beautiful, right? We should find the inner light. We should find the light in the dark. And sometimes the world can be also very interesting. Now we should find the light in it, right? And also ask before you go to sleep, and also during your meditation, ask for help from higher worlds. You know, they are there. Right now we have a lot of negative vibrations on this earth. A lot of cheatings, a lot of fake things, even in politician, even in spirituality. There's so much going on in every way of life, right? So, but if we ask, you know, if we ask for protection, it comes. It will help us. It's so beautiful. It's so powerful. Okay. So this is my very very first webinar since long time in English for you, and I hope you had a lot of inspiration, feelings, and a lot of good moments in this webinar. And one more will come soon. So if you want to spread that to your friends also, spread the message about this webinar, I'm very happy for it, and I'm also thankful if you give a good vote for that webinar. And if you have questions about future webinars, if you say, hey Bharati, please do a webinar about this and this, or if you're even interested in some YouTube videos I should do about some some things where you really have big questions about, you can always write me an email on info@spiritbalance.net. I forgot the .net, and my team will answer you, and we will look it through, and we will see what we can do. Okay? Yeah, thank you also for listening, and have a very, very good time, and bring the light in yourself to yourself, and see you soon. Bye. Namaste. Thank you.